Weapons shot past Freakier Friday and the Fantastic Four first steps to top the box office on Friday. Fueled by the buzz from its mysterious premise and trailers, the horror thriller whipped up $12.5 million on its opening day, and its total is $18.2 million when you factor in those preview grosses of $5.7 million. That $12.5 million was more than quadruple the $3 million opening day of Barbarian, the last picture from Weapons writer-director Zach Kreger. And it was more than 80% bigger than the $7 million opening of Longlegs, that buzzy horror movie from last summer. On CinemaScore, which polls opening night moviegoers, Weapons earned an A-, which is exceptional for a horror movie. Earlier this year, Sinners was a unicorn with its A grade, but for a twisty or surprise-dependent horror movie like Weapons to nab an A-, that's indicative of a crowd pleaser. For instance, Longlegs and Barbarian each got a C+, and it can get even worse, such as the D+ earned by Hereditary. By the way, other A- horror movies include The Sixth Sense and Get Out. Now, among 2025 horror movies, Weapons' $12.5 million opening day ranks third behind Sinners' $14.5 million and Final Destination Bloodlines' $15.5 million. And all three of these movies are from the same studio, Warner Brothers. And as such, Sinners and Final D are already on HBO Max right now. If Weapons gets the same 2.5-month theatrical window that its Warner brethren received, then it might be on HBO Max by Halloween. And now, thanks to this movie, we can all save some time and money on costumes this Halloween because kids can just run around with their arms stretched out like the kids in this movie, and that's their costume. You might say that's lazy, but it's now legit thanks to Weapons. Now, I bet Disney thought Freakier Friday would be number one, but perhaps the millennial nostalgic appeal for Freaky Friday was overestimated, as Freakier Friday came in second with $9.6 million, with a $12.7 million running tally, including special previews that were on Wednesday, August 6th for the 22nd anniversary of the 2003 Freaky Friday, as well as the regular Thursday previews. A Legacy sequel like Freakier Friday really should have a higher grossing opening than its predecessor to be seen as an unmitigated success. Now, while Freaky Friday 2003 also opened in early August, it had a Wednesday debut, so we don't have a proper apples-to-apples comparison here, but its first Friday was $8 million, or the equivalent of over $15 million adjusted for ticket price inflation. And for those who don't like ticket price inflation adjustment, then even in terms of raw dollars, you have to give the nod to 2003 here. For parity with Freakier's previews, Freaky 2003's Thursday-Friday gross combined was $12.9 million versus Freakier's $12.7 million. Now, one positive sign is that Freakier Friday received an A on CinemaScore. Freaky Friday 2003 got an A- back in the day, and it went on to make $110.2 million, or the equivalent of over $207 million adjusted for ticket price inflation. So that goodwill plus summer playability may help Freakier Friday avoid the fate of Mean Girls 2024, that other recent Lindsay Lohan redux. Now for the Fantastic Four first steps. The flameout continues. Marvel's First Family dropped 61% to $4.5 million on Friday, and in doing so, it fell even further behind Superman at the same point. Here are their third Fridays compared. Superman not only made more, but held a bit better as well, down 57%. Superman's total was $271.7 million at this point, or 24% ahead of F4's $219.4 million. And yes, Fantastic Four did lose its premium screens to Weapons and Freakier Friday, but Superman bore that same brunt of losing its premium screens better than Fantastic Four did. And Superman had direct competition in the form of Fantastic Four to deal with. Sure, Weapons is a hit, but it's not a bullseye with Fantastic Four in terms of genre and demographics like Fantastic Four was for Superman. So let's look outside of the MCU and the DCU. Let's consider Fantastic Four First Steps versus the best of its direct predecessors, that being Fantastic Four 2005. Well, 2005 held better, and its 3.7 million third Friday was not that far behind. But First Steps is crushing it here in total gross, 219 million versus 114 million. Adjust that for ticket price inflation though, and 2005 was only doing a bit worse in total gross. But since First Steps is part of the MCU and is presumably the best Fantastic Four movie yet, many say it's the only good one, which is even backed up by CinemaScore. So based on that, I'm wanting to see First Steps outpace its 2005 predecessor on all fronts. I want to see that there's a clear win to point to that can counter all those alarmist or clickbaity claims that it's a box office bomb or disappointment. But as it stands, there is some validity to those claims. Also on Friday, The Bad Guys 2 tumbled 56% to 3.1 million, a smaller second weekend Friday than the first Bad Guys, but thanks to those juicy summer weekdays, Bad Guys 2 was actually ahead of Bad Guys 1 in total gross, 36 million versus 32 million. At the same point, rounding out the top 5, The Naked Gun drew 2.4 million with a 49% drop. I can't say the comedy has sprouted legs, but it's not falling on its face either. And lastly, Superman was 6th with 2.2 million, down another 45%, with 325.6 million in 29 days. It will soon surpass the final total of Batman v Superman, not adjusted for ticket price inflation. And that's a wrap for now. Thanks for tuning in to Box Office Revival. We'll be back with the full weekend numbers, and we'll keep tracking Weapons, Fantastic Four, Superman, and more. So be sure to like this video if you liked it. And tell me, did you get weaponized or did you get freakier? Or were you like me and got your weaponized freak on? Well, let me know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel, especially if you want to support objective reporting on the box office. This has been Brandon Gray, creator of Box Office Mojo. Thank you for watching.